And we are live. Hey everyone, welcome to the episode. I would say this is the very first episode of Bricks and Bank podcast. This is the official one, and today I'm not interviewing anyone. I just want to use this opportunity, this episode, this platform to explain my rationale for the pod and just introduce myself really. So yeah, that's what I'll be doing, covering on this pod. I promised myself that it's gonna be less than 10 minutes, so guys, keep me accountable. Yes, I am Stephanie Noye Oweme. Bricks and Bank podcast is a baby idea that came to me early this year. We're in the year 2025 for context. So if you're watching in 2050, YOLO, we got here before you. So I've I was reluctant to do this video because I won't say I'm camera shy, but I was like, I don't know what to say. But and I was so focused on it being a very perfect episode, but after many tries, I just figured out, nah, Steph, just do what you gotta do, be yourself, and just let people know what you're doing. So yes, guys, this is me letting you know what I'm doing, what I'm up to. I am definitely excited to finally launch this platform. One of the core things for me is to bridge the financial gap because I grew up I didn't grow up very rich. I came from a family of modest means, so I've had to learn to create wealth for myself, grow money, manage money for myself. And because I didn't have the full knowledge of or the exposure to managing money, I made a couple of mistakes. So this platform is essentially birthed to help you not make those silly money mistakes I made or the silly money mistakes my guests that will be coming on the podcast have made. So it's just basically to help bridge that gap and be a platform, your go-to platform for all things financial literacy, real estate, and wealth building. So essentially, the name of this podcast is Bricks and Bank. Bricks talks about real estate. Bank talks about all things investments and money. Like I say, if it's not making money, it's not making sense. So this podcast is all about empowering you to take control of your financial future, whether it's through smart money management, strategic real estate investments, or breaking generational financial cycles, cycle of debt, wasteful spending, cycle of unnecessary spending. My goal is to break down complex financial topics and real estate strategies into easy to digest, actionable steps. Because I don't want this to just be your typical podcast that you just listen to for the sake of listening or for the sake of getting new knowledge. This is more than just it. I want it to be a platform where people can actually draw real value from and take actionable insights. So you might want to ask, why should we listen to you? Stephanie, who are you? So a bit about myself. I'm a chartered accountant. I'm a financial auditor. And yeah, I'm your smart money baby girl. I'd like to call myself that. So, and essentially, you wouldn't be listening to just me on this platform because I'm bringing in guests with wealth of experience, captains of industries, people that have been there, done that, wealth advisors, people that are taking the leap and breaking new banks in the real estate environment. These are people you would essentially be listening to, and we'll be creating the podcast such that you guys can take actionable steps to building wealth for yourself. You're not just listening to people that have been there, done that. You're also learning from them on how to do it for yourself. I got my first degree in management and accounting from Obafemi Awolowo University, Great Ife. While in school, I started doing my ICANN exams, which qualified me as a chartered accountant and an ACA qualification. So I started my career in InterSwitch. InterSwitch is a fintech company, and I just want to shout out to all my colleagues, ex-colleagues in InterSwitch, because you guys basically gave me the platform to start my professional career. After InterSwitch, I moved on to Deloitte, where I trained as an auditor for 3 years. So I'm a big four enthusiast. After Deloitte, I moved to PwC London. So I'm currently in London, and most of my videos will be shot from London, at least for this season. I look forward to going to other places, but yeah, we're starting from London. London is my first love. So I'm passionate about real estate. Sometime last year, I took a 4 month intensive course in real estate, which basically broadened my knowledge about real estate investments. I learned about real estate strategies such as BTO, that's the most common one. Then you have the BRR, buy, refurbish, and rent. You have shared ownership. You have HMOs as home of multiple occupants. You have shared services, the likes of Airbnb and Booking.com and whatnot. You have commercial real estate and other development. So the real estate course I took last year, which was hosted by Aspire Education, it was a paid program. It just exposed me to a world of possibilities concerning real estate investments. The thing is, I've always wanted to get into real estate because I bought my first property back in Nigeria at the age of 25. So I got my first landed property then. But I didn't really know much about it. I just bought it as a store of value. I wasn't even sure if I wanted it. Just like, it's nice to have an asset. Let me just get it. But now I have more knowledge on how to make the most of my investments, and I don't want other people to just have an inaction mindset. I want people to actually take action because time time is a respecter of no one. So if you don't take action right now, you're missing out on multiple opportunities. I can imagine that I've missed out on a couple of opportunities because I didn't take action on my property as I should have. I was just buying it for a store value. But real estate is not just for a store value. Yes, in the long run, it keeps its value and it will get you returns, but short term, I can make multiple streams of income from that real estate. It's just about the knowledge. So now I have the knowledge. I'm trying to get that knowledge to you so you don't make the same mistakes I did. That is essentially about me. So I would say I'm in my podcast era. Yes, I'm in my podcast era. And so far I've gotten a lot of support. You guys have been so supportive. Everyone has been rooting for me. Hey, go girl. And I'm like, oh, thank you so much. I'm in this for the long run, guys. I'm in this for the long run. I have my mentors that are keeping me in check. One of my biggest mentors will have to be Ademola Odewade. He's the host of King Dim's podcast. He's the one that graciously allowed me to make use of the studio, and that's where I'll be shooting most of my content for the time being. So he's the one that really prompted me that, oh, you have this real estate knowledge. Why don't you just use it to start a podcast of your own? And I was a bit reluctant at first because I'm like, I don't really know so much about real estate. I'm just coming into a new country because I moved into London about 2 years ago. So I'm just coming into a new country and I do not have so much knowledge about the investment terrain and all. Even though I'm working in London and all, but it's one thing to work in a place, it's another thing to invest in a place. So, but he was like, I wouldn't be the one speaking. I'll be having guests come over to speak. I'm like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. And it makes a lot of sense because I'm not just talking from my own experience, because my experience is limited. I'm drawing experience and I'm drawing information, I'm drawing researches from a lot of other people that have gone way ahead of me. They've gone on to build industries and companies and whole network of communities around real estate. So these are people I'll be essentially interviewing on my podcast. A lot of them will be coming from the US because I just like the US. I know that I'm a sucker for the American dream. And I know I'm going to get to the US someday, even if it's not today. But you guys should look out for me. I'm coming to the US, guys. You know, do anything about it. Okay, why should you listen to the Breaks and Bank podcast? Maybe you're here and you want to break free from living paycheck to paycheck. Maybe you're here, you want to buy your first property and you're overwhelmed with the process. Or maybe you're looking to build multiple streams of income and create generational wealth. So, whatever brought you to this podcast, you're not alone. I'm also not alone because I'm also learning. I've I've pulled a group of people together that would help us make strategic moves and get from where we are to where we need to be. And through this podcast, we'll be sharing that knowledge so we can take charge of our financial future and grow together. So, what you can expect from the Bricks and Bank podcast would essentially be deep dives into financial literacy, budgeting, saving and investing, credit building, wealth building, because we're having a couple of wealth advisors coming to give us practical guidelines. We're also be looking at real estate strategies. That's the core of the podcast. Home ownership, rentals, flipping houses, real estate investment tips, commercial real estates. We're all in. And there is this new one. It's called tokenization of real estate. That's using the blockchain technology. I know some people are already doing real estate investment trusts, that's REITs, but this is a whole new level. You're using blockchain to diversify real estate and break it into fractional portions that everyone can own. So that be having a guest come in and talk about that as well. And what you should also expect from this podcast will be actionable steps and real life case studies that would help you apply what you learn. We'll also be having transparent conversations about financial struggles, lessons learned, and how to bounce back from setbacks. So this isn't about me sharing my knowledge. It's about building a community of like-minded people who are serious about their financial growth. I know you're serious about your financial growth. That's why you're looking at me right now. So before I wrap up this episode, one thing I want to encourage you is that while on the podcast, don't just listen to on it to pass time. Do well to grab a notepad, do well to take down notes, do well to click on all the links because we're not just bringing you people to talk about how fantastic their lives are. We're bringing people that will give you real knowledge, real advice on how to maximize your earning potential in the real estate industry, in the investment world. Aside that, you're going to be becoming financial literate day by day by listening to this podcast. So it's great for you to take down notes or save up a portion of what resonates well with you. And guys, please let us get involved. Like, share, comments, and share with people that would also get value from this podcast. So before I wrap up this introductory episode, I want to leave you with this. Wealth building is a journey, not just a destination. So no matter where you are in your financial journey, you have the power to change your situation. You just need the right knowledge, tools, and mindset to get there. If this podcast sounds like something you would love to be a part of, make sure to subscribe, share with a friend, share with your family, share with everybody that you know, and connect with me on social media. I'll leave all the links in the description so you can just connect with us and let's build a community. I want to hear from you. I want to hear your financial goals. I want to hear the topics you'd like me to cover because I'm not just doing this with a mindset of my own. I want you guys to also contribute because essentially I'm doing this podcast for you. So if there are specific topics you'd like me to cover, if there are specific people you'd want me to interview, I'm all for it. So this is just the beginning. I can't wait to grow, learn, and build wealth together with you. So thanks for tuning in to the very first episode of Bricks and Bank with Steph. Guys, I'm a bit rusty because this is like my first time doing this, so I'm still taking baby steps in my podcast queen era. So I've not arrived yet. I have not arrived yet. So I'm just starting. However, don't hold back on your comments. Don't hold back on the reviews. I want to hear from you and see how I'm doing. So I can grow, I can do better, and I can create value for you. Until next time, let's keep stacking those bricks and securing that bank. One thing tagline that came to my mind would be let's turn knowledge into action and bricks into bank. Yeah, that will be my tagline for the post. Do you know I'm just using this as a brainstorming session? Okay, I think I've talked a lot. So thank you so much guys for joining me on the very first episode of the Bricks and Bank podcast, where we turn knowledge into action and bricks into bank. Cheers.